G'day and welcome back to RC Model Reviews. A quick weekly news, not so weekly news while I drink my coffee and eat my lunch because I'm trying to get as much done as I can here. The weather isn't that good. I was supposed to pack up this afternoon in rain, but anyway. So what have I got to tell you about? Well, as you've seen, I've started rolling out the UHF reviews, the UHF systems. I've done part one, which is looking at the hardware and how that stacks up. I mean, we're talking about mechanical construction and so forth. The next one should be out this week. What are we there? Yep, should be later this week, and that'll have the next part of it. And there's 5 parts to this series. So, as I said, there was a lot of work involved in doing this. So, I'll be putting those up in a few days' time. Now, also I've got some of the DAL props coming, the new 5x45 bullnose, and also the 6x45 bullnose. I'll be comparing them to the gem fans and the other props we've looked at. And so you'll be able to get a better idea. And I'll be giving, well, actually I'm going to try and give them a toughness test, and we may do it on the bench for reasons I'll explain later. People have asked about the video I was going to do on ducts and propellers and ducts. Well, I haven't done that just yet because the ducts that were sent to me, they're probably not going to give any increase in lift. I've had a look, and the actual propeller is too high in the duct. It's actually above the coander lip, so you're not going to get that that extra lift from the lip. And I'm going to try them out. I've got I'm building the Flexi Bee here. See, it's coming along. It's got motors on it now, motors and props. And I'm going to fly that without the ducts, and then I'm going to fly it with the ducts and just see what difference it makes to the handling. But to the guy making the ducts, I'd say maybe you should try one that's a little bit deeper, so the prop is actually down below the level of the lip, and see how that goes. But I'm going to make up a little duct here. I'll make one up out of some materials here with a really good lip, and we'll just see how much increase in the lift we can get by using that coander effect on the lip of the duct. It could be really interesting, and so that's coming up at some stage in the future. Now I've got people have said, why don't you review a hexacopter? And so I've got a hexacopter coming, and we'll put that together and see how it goes. It's from RCTimer. It's their Argonaut, I think it is, and so see how that works out. It's also a good chance to test the Bolt batteries that Hobby King sent for review. These are the ones that are slightly higher voltage than the normal LiPos, and they're 165 to 135 C or something like that. So it'll be a really good test. I'll try them with standard nanotechs, standard zippies, and with the Bolt batteries. Just see what effect that has on performance when you've got a big load like 6 2204 motors. What else have I got here? I've written something down. I don't know what on earth. Oh yes, that's what it is. Here we go. I got sent. I remember I say, if you've got a product and you want me to show the world, send it to me, and I'll do my best to show the world. Well, someone sent me these. These are little pins. Probably hard to see in the wrapping. Here's a shot on the bench. These are little pins that you can stick on your coat or your jacket with the quadcopter emblem. You could probably use them as cufflinks if you were really keen. So that's interesting. That was sent to me by, I'll just have a look at the piece of paper because I'm old and I forget, Philip Hatzes. Oh, I'm terrible with names, Philip. I'm sorry. Philip Hatzes. So there we are. I'll put a link to his website. He has them on eBay. So if you want to buy some, you can go on eBay and buy them. I'll put a link in the description of this video. You can go and have a look for yourself. Buy one if you want one, or buy some. What else is on my list? Oh yes, I know a lot of people who watch RC Model Reviews also subscribe to my XJet channel, but some don't. So if you want to see the XJet channels of the week, and there's it's well worth having a look. A lot of people probably already know about Rolf Ventz's channel, but if you don't, go and have a look at the XJet channel of the week, and you will probably laugh yourself stupid, as I did, even stupider than I usually are. So that's, yeah, go and have a look at the XJet channel, the XJet video of the week, the latest one in that series that's up on there now. Right, what else have we got here? Okay, just a bit of a heads up. The wife and I are having some discussions and looking at options for the future and so forth, and we're probably going to make a bit of an announcement towards the end of the month, because we can't continue on the way we are with the changes in the civil aviation regulations have really sort of nailed it effectively. To give you an indication, I haven't flown anything for a month, and I haven't flown fixed wing for 6 months, and that's pretty bad news when you're supposed to be reviewing RC products. If you can't use them, how the hell can you review them? You become a bit of a fraud. I can't stand here and say this is a good RC flying model product if I can't use the damn thing. So we're going to have to look at our options. You know, there are 3 aspects that affect things. There's the permission aspect of getting the permission of places where you need to fly, and having to have a spotter in every occasion when you FPV, because I mean, this is pretty much a one-man band, and if I need to go out and test something, FPV, little mini quad or something, if I have to find a spotter from somewhere, then even if I've got somewhere to fly, that makes it really, really difficult. And some people will say, well, just break the rules, but hey, that's the law. And I take a fairly firm position on safety, as everyone knows. Model flying New Zealand don't, but I take a strong position on safety, and I believe that no matter how much you disagree with the regulation, if it's a regulation, you've got to follow it. I can't be seen to be breaking the regulations and then telling other people you should follow the regulations. One thing I cannot stand is hypocrisy, and I'm not about to become a hypocrite. So if the regulations say I can't fly without a spotter, I won't be flying without a spotter. And that really compromises my ability to produce videos in a timely fashion. The other thing is, of course, when the new regulations have removed the 100 gram lower threshold. So some of the other models I could fly, my DLG and other bits and pieces, and my little FPV Ladybird, I can't fly those anymore either, because now everything is included in the regulations. If you're wondering about the regulations, I've put a video up on my XJet channel explaining the very basics of them for people. If you're inside New Zealand or outside New Zealand, you may find that interesting. And I've also put up a video, well, I will be putting up a video, probably shortly after this one, in which I give my opinion on these new regulations, because a lot of people have asked me, what do you think of them? Are they any good? So I've voiced my criticisms. And I've also, if there are regulators out there in other countries, because this is a problem everyone's facing, how do you regulate these damn drones, stop them from flying into airliners? Well, I believe regulators have the wrong outlook, and they're really not approaching things from the right direction. So what I've tried to do is to show how I believe a regulator should go about addressing the issues that are facing them at the moment. And it's not just about making more regulations. If you're a regulator and you want a heads up, go and have a look at that. You may not agree with it. You may say I'm talking through a hole in my head. But it's what I believe. It's the result of my own experience in modifying human behaviour over 6 decades, if you include when I was a baby. All right, so there you go. And of course, this leaves me at the moment. I'm trying to get all these reviews done because there may be changes coming up. I want to get as much out of the way as possible. I've got plenty of stuff to finish. I got that Walkera review. And as I say, the thing cramping my style is the lack of flying, which really compromises the whole thing I'm doing here. But I also have some other options coming up, but I can't engage them either. I mean, I've had 3 companies come to me now and want me to develop some specific drone technology for them, for very specific applications of drones. But unfortunately, because of the local council forbidding me with their their lawyer's letter that says I may not make any transmissions or fly or do anything else, can't even, I've put sugar in my coffee, I think, on that one. Because of that, I can't even engage in this completely separate line of business, and that's developing technology for drones. So it's really, I'm backed into a very, very small corner. And so, as I say, wife and I are discussing the options. We'll let you know at the end of the month what we've decided to do. But there aren't a lot of options, actually. Right, so yes, as I say, I put a video up explaining the regulations, the new regulations in New Zealand. I put that up. It's not, there's none of my opinion in there. It's completely straight down the barrel, because it's important to inform people without prejudice, without bias, without political overtones. I promised CAA I would do that, and I have done it, because I like to think I keep my promises. Unfortunately, I can't say the same of CAA, who promised me an exemption and then reneged, and I can't say the same of Modifying New Zealand, who promised me membership and then reneged on that. I'm not going to sink to their level. If I promise I'm going to do something to CAA, I'll do it. And I did. There you go. Keeping the moral high ground. So there you go. It's another Not So Weekly news. Probably not all the good news you wanted to hear, but there's, all I've got for you. In the meantime, I'll get on with these pile of reviews to finish all the stuff that's been backlogged, and take advantage of the fact that it's about to rain, and therefore I won't be feeling too bad about not being able to fly. See you later.